Stef Diggs collapses after Cardi B's emotional confession crying face. Nobody expected what happened that night. Not the fans. Not the media. Not even the people closest to them. What was supposed to be a quiet, heartfelt charity gala in New York turned into one of the most emotional and shocking scenes the celebrity world has ever witnessed. Stefon Diggs stood confidently beside Cardi B, both dressed in elegant black, their presence alone commanding every camera in the room. For months, rumors had swirled around their relationship, whispers of distance, secret arguments, late-night tears, and forced smiles. But tonight? Tonight felt different. The air was heavy. Almost too still. Cardi's hands trembled slightly as she held the microphone. Her usual fierce, vibrant energy was replaced by a fragile vulnerability rarely seen by the world. Before we continue with the program, she began, her voice soft but shaking, "There's something I need to say. Something I can't keep inside anymore." The room fell completely silent. Stef turned to her, confusion and concern flashing across his face. "Babe," he whispered, but she gently shook her head. Her eyes glossed over as she looked out at the crowd, and then directly at him. "I've been pretending for too long. I've been smiling through pain, through fear, through nights where my heart felt like it was breaking all over again." Gasps rippled through the audience as flashes from cameras intensified. Cardi swallowed hard, her voice cracking. "Stef. I love you. I really do. But the truth is, I've been scared. Scared of losing myself. Scared of losing us. And scared because I never told you how deep my pain has been." Stef's face drained of color. "I haven't been honest about how lonely I felt even when you were right next to me. I felt like I was fading, like I was screaming and nobody heard me. And that broke me." Tears rolled down her cheeks now, unapologetic, raw, real. "And the worst part," she whispered. "I almost walked away without telling you any of this." The crowd murmured. Some fans covered their mouths. Others silently cried along with her. Stef staggered back a step. His breathing became uneven. "You mean, you were gonna leave me?" he asked, his voice shaking, barely louder than a breath. Cardi nodded, tears falling freely. "Yes. Because I thought I wasn't enough. I thought love shouldn't hurt this much. That was when it happened." Stef's legs buckled. His hand reached out instinctively, but his body gave in. He collapsed onto the stage, the sound echoing like a thunderclap of heartbreak. "Stef!" Cardi screamed, dropping the mic as Stef rushed forward. The crowd erupted into chaos. Security cleared space while medics ran to his side. Cardi knelt beside him, sobbing, gripping his hand desperately. "Please don't do this, please baby, wake up," she cried, tears soaking his suit. His eyes fluttered, his lips trembling. "I never knew, you were hurting like this," he murmured weakly. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I was scared," she sobbed. "I didn't want to lose you." He squeezed her fingers faintly. "You could never lose me," but hearing that, it broke me. The entire hall was frozen in emotional shock. Fans watching live streams across the world flooded social media with messages. "This is heartbreaking," loudly crying face. Stef literally collapsed out of pure emotional pain. "Cardi's confession just shattered me." After several tense minutes, Stef was helped to his feet and escorted backstage, Cardi refusing to leave his side. Behind closed doors, the moment grew even more intense. "I thought you didn't want me anymore," Stef admitted, tears in his own eyes. "I felt you pulling away every day. I wasn't leaving you because I stopped loving you," Cardi whispered. "I was leaving because I didn't know how to heal." He pulled her into a trembling embrace. "Next time you feel broken," he said softly, "let me feel it with you. Don't carry it alone." She nodded against his chest, heart shattered yet strangely lighter. Outside, fans held candles, crying, praying, sharing emotional messages. Love shouldn't hurt, but it should heal. That night became more than gossip. It became a raw reminder that even those who seem unbreakable can crumble from the weight of unspoken pain. And as Stef and Cardi walked out hand in hand under the flashing lights, one thing was clearly written in their tear-filled eyes. This was no longer just a scandal. This was a battle for love, healing, and survival. Stef Diggs collapses after Cardi B's emotional confession crying face. A fictional, dramatic story created purely for entertainment. The room fell into a deafening silence the moment Cardi B stepped forward, her hands trembling slightly as she gripped the microphone. The cameras were flashing, the fans buzzing with anticipation, and the atmosphere was charged with a tension no one could quite explain. This was supposed to be a casual charity gala, a night of smiles, laughter, and celebrated love. But something about the way Cardi stood there, her eyes glossy and her voice wavering, told everyone this was about to become something far deeper. Stefon Diggs sat just a few feet away, looking at her with the same protective gaze he had worn for months. He smiled softly, thinking this was just another heartfelt shout-out. He had no idea his entire world was about to shift. "Stef," Cardi began, her voice cracking. "I don't know how to say this without breaking down, but I can't keep this to myself anymore." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Her fingers tightened around the mic. "People see the glam, the smiles, the red carpets, but they don't see the nights I cried alone. They don't see the moments when I felt like I wasn't enough. And the truth is, I've been carrying something heavy in my heart." Stef's smile slowly faded. His brows furrowed. "Cardi," he whispered, barely audible, as concern spread across his face. She swallowed hard, tears finally spilling. "You came into my life when I didn't believe in love anymore. You showed me softness when all I knew was survival. And that's why this hurts so much." The crowd was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. "I've been scared, Stef. Scared that my past, my pain, my fears, would poison what we have. I've been afraid that one day, you'd wake up and realize I'm too complicated, too broken, too much." Gasps echoed softly. "I love you more than I ever thought possible," she confessed, her voice shaking uncontrollably. "But I've been hiding my truth, and I can't do that anymore." Stef stood up instinctively, his eyes wide, heart pounding. "What are you saying, Cardi?" She looked straight at him, raw, vulnerable, terrified. "I've been pushing you away because I found out something that changed everything for me," she sobbed. "I'm scared. I don't know how to face it. I've been pretending to be okay, but I'm not." His face drained of color. "And the worst part," she continued, "I didn't want to lose you because of it. I didn't want to see disappointment in your eyes. So I carried it alone." Her voice completely broke. "I thought staying silent was protecting you, but I was only hurting us." Stef staggered back a step, overwhelmed by the emotions crashing over him. His hand went to his chest as he struggled to breathe. "I can't take this," he muttered. "Why didn't you tell me? Why did you carry this alone?" Tears streamed down his face now, his strength crumbling before the world. "You think I'd walk away? After everything?" Cardi rushed toward him, but before she could reach him, his knees buckled. The strong, composed athlete who always stood tall through pressure suddenly collapsed to the ground, devastated by the raw intensity of her confession. "Stef!" Cardi screamed as people rushed forward. Security, medics, fans, chaos erupted. Cameramen froze in shock. Nobody expected this moment to turn so painfully real. He clutched his chest, overwhelmed by heartbreak and fear, whispering words only she could hear. "I just wanted you to trust me. I just wanted to protect you." Cardi dropped beside him, sobbing uncontrollably, holding his face in her trembling hands. "Please don't do this. I love you. I love you so much." The room watched in silence as the two clung to each other, broken, emotional, fragile, caught in a moment that felt like time itself had shattered. Later, as Stef slowly regained composure, he pulled her close and whispered through his tears. Whatever you're facing, whatever you're afraid of, you don't face it alone. Not ever again. Cardi nodded, her forehead pressed against his. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Outside, fans cried. Social media exploded. Some called it heartbreaking. Others called it the most raw moment of love they had ever witnessed. But one thing was clear. This wasn't just a confession. It was a moment that exposed two hearts fighting fear, pain, love, and truth, all at once. And as Stef held Cardi tightly, still shaken but refusing to let go, the world realized something powerful. Sometimes the strongest people aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who collapse, and still choose to stay.
쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 쳐다보고 있겠지. 묘한 짜릿함 그 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주 행비행 신비한 세계로 나를 이끌고 거짓말처럼 하늘을 날며 어느새 제주 바다가 내게로 와 있네. 도시가 보이곤 해. 그 도시에는 또 다른 내가 하늘에 떠가는 비행기를 올려다보고 있겠지. 난 하늘을 보고 속에 머물다 보면 어느새 제주도